Hello and welcome to this webinar titled Mapping Future Technology Needs for Real-Time Release Testing, hosted by BioPharma Asia magazine and presented by Dr. Udayanath, Aich, Associate Director at Bristol-Myers Squibb. My name is Stephen Edwards and I'll be your moderator. Before we begin, I would just like to inform our viewers that there will be a live Q&A session after both presentations at the end of the webinar. Audience members can send their questions in at any time during the webinar via the Questions tab located directly below your webinar screen, and we will go through these at the end of the webinar. Now please allow me to introduce our presenter, Dr. Udayanath, Aich. Currently, Dr. Udayanath, Aich is an Associate Director at Bristol-Myers Squibb with extensive experience and management skills in analytical chemistry and CMC analytical strategies for early, late, and commercial biologics products. Dr. Aich completed his PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, in the area of chemical biology. After completion of his PhD, he has joined in Biomedical Engineering Department of Johns Hopkins for his postdoctoral study in the field of cell engineering, glycoengineering, and structure-activity relationships. Subsequently, he has decided to move to Massachusetts Institute of Technology to gain exterior pharmaceutical characterization and drug development. Dr. Aich joined at Thermo Fisher Scientific in the chromatographic and mass spectrometric division to broaden his extensive analytical skills. Then, Dr. Aich worked as investigator at GlaxoSmithKline in the area of protein and glycans characterization, process analytics, CMC analytical strategies, as in ATL, and structure function study. Finally, before joining at Bristol-Myers Squibb, Uday was working at Sanofi related to high throughput technologies, process analytical technologies, analytical method harmonization, multi-attribute method dev, analytical method dev, robustness, qualification, and transfer for early and late stage product, including second generation commercial product as part of life cycle analytics. I will now be handing over to our presenter. Welcome, Dr. Aich.
Yeah, thanks for the nice introduction. So today's topic is basically we are focusing on mapping future technology needs for real-time release testing. So before I go through the slide, I would request to the audience, feel free to ask questions and type the question, then I'll be happy to answer any question related to this topic, what I know. And as you all know that this is an evolving and a new area of scientific research, which is called real-time release testings. There will be definitely a lot of questions, lot of guidance, but whatever I know through BioPhorum Operations Group as a collaborations, I'll be happy to provide as much as possible. So moving to the next slides, which is I'm not going to talk about that, but I just want to read the information present in this presentation was compiled by BioPhorum member companies, represented by consensus view of members of the current state of the technology roadmap, inline monitoring real-time release. View does not represent fully in internal policies of contributing the member companies. Just to clarify that. Then go to the slides. I just want to introduce what is called BioPhorum. So BioPhorum is a unique collaborations across the different industry and also supply partner and funding agency. And it's a powerful vehicle to engage, to challenge, change an industry inside the expert working to conduct, deliver the result by across the boundary. So we have 7 forums and we have different communities and greater than 60 member companies. It's part of this initiative. And we have 80 plus member companies in different companies, and more than almost close to 3,000 active participants. So what is the more overall goal here is called how we can do the different type of technology roadmap, how we can use this technology roadmap towards implementation as a collaborative manner, not just working in the silos. So, and I'm going to talk something like that. But before that, I just want to tell you that the forum I'm talking today is more towards inline monitoring real-time release. However, I'll just give some brief background of the BioForum, what exactly we are doing. So what is the mission for the BioForum? Basically, as I said, the create environment where different biopharma industry can collaborate and also progress, benefit all. Basically, this will provide a ground that everybody can share their knowledge and also get the information and utilize those information within the pharmaceutical company, and also engage the supply partner towards this goal of new innovation towards different type of technology, including real-time release and inline monitoring. Then coming to the, so what is the first? Bringing the leaders and together to create a future visions. That's the one thing. The second thing is how to mobilize the community. Basically, BioForum helping to make sure that all the SME, which is called subject matter expert, can be provide the ideas and can be mobilize those ideas within the community and within the participant. Then how to create a partnership. The partnership, basically every industry to became in the same page and work as a partnership approach to streamline the technology, to harmonize the approach towards new innovations. Then finally, as I said, the idea behind is replacing isolations and with collaboration. So instead of working the silos or working the every industry that on their own, this will be giving a good a collaborative approach to provide more sustainable and more advantage technology and innovations. So idea is that making the journey as together to make our life better, faster, and cheaper. So which is considered as in biopharma term is called increasing the speed and improving the quality and reduce the cost. So that's the goals of overall goal of the BioForum. So just to give a bit background, BioForum, so it was started related to first roadmap was published in 2017. Basically, the main driver for this roadmap is determine the pre-competitive needs and drivers, and basically then identify the technology and manufacturing targets, assess the potential solution, coordination, implementation plan. So the idea of how basically you choose the technology and assess the potential of the technology and digest, then prepare a strategy of implementation, then how to coordinate across the industry to implement the technology. So towards this endeavor, we have published a first edition of Technology Roadmap, which was published in 2017, and as of now is about greater than 6,800 download, April 2019. This roadmap was basically a huge effort from different organizations and different scientists, different partner and supply partner and funding agency, and basically this roadmap is available online. Anybody can download and read this roadmap, give some visions of what is covered. It's covered basically 10-year outlook and 400-page content. So 10-year outlook, we are talking let's consider it was started 2016, or so 10 year will be 2026 or very close to 2027, where technology roadmap is targeting for. Then go to the next slide, where I would like to give what is the first edition of roadmap cover. First edition of roadmap cover basically what is called um, why you basically do the roadmap technology. Why? What is the importance of that? As you can see that cost pressure is most important. Like every like patient need the much cheaper drug compared to the cost effective drug, and then also insurance, prayer pressures, biosimilar and development. Lot of things going on, and uncertainty in the global market. Like suppose you file in a different countries, like let's consider rest of the world or US, EU or Canada and all those things. So regulatory approval is uncertainty and demand of variability and competitions across the different industry. And second thing is emerging market of growth of a different product, like different modalities starting from traditional monoclonal antibody to all the way to the gene therapy and cell therapy. So all these things is going on background the scenes, which create a unique approach of unique complexity, because as you know that biopharma is a complex molecules, and which create a lot of complexity. And in order to tackle those complexity, we need to decrease the cost. We need to be very flexible, with mobile and more modular, and more improve the speed and quality. So quality is the most important thing. No matter how you do, what you do, we need to make sure that our patients receive the much pure drugs and do not have any adverse effects. So then going to that, how you do that? What are the things people are doing to reduce this cost, speed, and improve? First thing comes with the manufacturing. So in a biopharma, manufacturing is the most important things. So traditional like stainless steel culture, and all the way to like a modular mobile culture, like a less than 50-liter culture, we can produce different type of material, and also different type of manufacturing process, starting from batch process all the way to continuous perfusion process, can improve the cost, and also increase the speed, and also it will provide some kind of better quality. So to do that, BioPhorum, as I said before, there are 6 different forum. I just want to just list all of them. The first one is called process technology, and the goal of the process technology is called process intensification and a combination of a unit operation, continuous processing. The next one, which I am going to talk in elaborately in the following sections, is called Inline Monitoring, RealTime Release. I don't want to discuss here, but I'll come back. Then other one is called Modular Mobile, Automated Facility, Knowledge Management, Supply Partner Management. So these are the forum under the BioPhorum working together to make our goal of increase speed and improve quality, and also reduce the cost. So then go to the next slide, where I will talk about current trends in BioPhorum development and manufacturing. So what is that we are doing here to increase the current efficiency throughout, reduce the waste and lead time compliance risk, and technology roadmap are focused on increasing the product and process understanding. That's the most important thing. And reduce the time needed for basically introduce process changes. Suppose you want to reduce the time where if you have any changes in the manufacturing process, and time required of the release the product, and reduce the total cost of the supply by minimizing the what is called risk of supply demand, and reduce the cost of upfront investment, reduce the cost of development. So all these things coming to the picture of this all technology roadmap. Then I want to go over a little bit about what is called opportunity space for inline monitoring, real-time release. As I said in the previous slides, next slide onwards, I'm going to talk about opportunity for ILM-RTR. ILM-RTR, what is called inline monitoring, real-time release. So what is the opportunity? As you know that when biopharma is evolving, the normal procedure, that like a workflow for the biopharma manufacturing start with the raw material, then goes to the seed train, bioreactor, and clarification, virus inactivations, purification and polishing stage, virus clearance, and concentration dye filtration, final formulation, sterile filtration, filling and lot release. So, and also within the each sections, you can see that so some of the attribute, like whether it's a quality attribute, basically analytical attribute, or process parameters are listed there. Those are influenced throughout the sections, need to be analyzed, make sure everything under control to provide the next unit operation is successful to move on to the next stage. And that will allow to minimize the cost and also allow understanding of the next process stage and also minimizing the risk of failure of the particular unit operations. So then move on to the next slides, where I would like to show that what is the driver behind inline monitoring and real-time release. As you can see that when you do the traditional analytics, like transfer, like step by step, you manufacture the drugs, goes to the drug substance, drug product, and also goes through the process. Then drug substance goes to the different quality release and quality assurance and all those things. So idea here is that inline monitoring, real-time release, main goal here is that transition of analytics, bioanalytics, from offline testing to real-time testings. So to minimize as much as offline testings and reduce complexity through use of multi-attribute and non-invasive techniques. So as much as possible, if we can use a multi-attribute method, so that's where instead of using single attribute-based method, which can individually goes through the quality and quality assurance and what is documentation, so many things. Instead of that, if you can do the multi-attribute method and also use more towards non-invasive methods like spectroscopy or Raman or FTIR, and also what is called MBDA, multivariate analysis, that will provide more improve quality and improve the speed of the analytical analysis of the biopharmaceuticals. So what is our future need challenge for potential solutions? So we are like a future utility environmental monitoring, raw material characterizations, in-process measurement, like starting from upstream and downstream, and end product testing, real-time release is the most important things. Then drug product consideration, advanced process control, as I said, predictive analytics, which is related to multivariate analysis. Then mature IT and automations, which are the part of these things, need to be like a part of this ILM-RTR. Even it's not directly related, but working in the synergy can provide much better understanding of the process and also provide much control of the process, and which will be provide more real-time monitoring, real-time release. Then go to the next slide. What I'm trying to talk about, what is our project goal. So we basically, in order to do that, we cannot target multiple type of attribute and process parameter. We want to make sure prioritize the list, which is most key important parameters or key important attribute to focus on. Then our deliverable is list of attribute with the highest impact and on business driver based on quality, cost, and speed. Then we prepare a user requirement specification in the selected measurement. I'm going to talk about how we prepare the user requirement specification. Then I'll talk about after you prepare the user requirement specification, you have to go through what exactly industry management needs, which is called business case. Then we are writing a white paper with the URS to guide the development of new inline, outline, and online technology, focus on highest impact of CQA and IPC, which is in process control or CPP. Then to do that, there are sections. One, we have done the scoping, and we gone through step attribute, current digest state, ranking mathematical and SME ranking, user case, and business case. So let me go to the scoping. So scope of this project, as I said, that you can increase the scope, but until now our scope is the mostly traditional map process and batch mode, including fed batch. Out of scope specific single use aspects not included here. And as you can see that the different culture was there. The idea here is inline monitoring real-time release testings. As you know that in order to take the goal of 10-year goal from starting, which is purely impossible, we started with the real-time release both like a both process intermediate and drug substance. But I can just say that this is considered in-time release of the testing, probably more accurate, does not have to be real-time testings, because considering the technology advancement. Then what we did, we have a step unit operations and a different attribute, and we have put in a grid in a like a mathematical gridding based on the mathematical ranking. I'm going to show to the next slides and calculate what are the key priority options available. So I'll go through different steps. Then let me go through first. What are the different steps? So steps is called basically unit operation, starting from all the way from seed cell, upstream, downstream, formulation, all those things. But our focus is until this formulation. I just want to mention that. Quality attribute wise, traditional, all the quality attributes starting from aggregation, glycosylation, and glycation, so many things. Those are important for the like biopharmaceutical characterizations. Cell culture parameters like starting from all the way from what is called antifoam, glucose, oxygen, and all those things is process parameters and downstream parameters, then safety and others. I just want to iterate here. We have another forum working parallel which produce the related to endotoxin microbial safety. Just to go that, then we prepare a huge Excel containing industry view, like go through a lot of industry, provide their comment, and fill the matrix in such a review of 10 process steps, potential attribute and process parameter, and current state, what is the disaster state, then we do the scoring. So the scoring is principle is like whether the testing types, whether it's offline testing, outline, online, inline testing, what are the measurement type, whether it's an in-process test or a release test or it's a CPB. Then scoring impact will be whether improve the quality. If it is improve quality, 1 or 2, and if it is critical to real-time release testings, then 1 or 2, or how much need you change. Actually, considering your industry demand, how much change you need. Suppose, let me give a simple example like HCP. No matter whatever you try, you can make it online, but to make it what is called inline, it might take longer to make the technology more mature. However, so that's what I'm saying, how much change you needed, this ranking goes to that. Then we have done the weighting average, which is called mathematical ranking, multiplying all those things. Then SME ranking and judgment was gone through that. So based on that, also we keep in the mind that you can see that this is the what is called different unit operation, different attribute. A red color represents the highest mathematical ranking. A medium color represents the what is called medium ranking and lower priority. Then we, even if some of the highest priority, and we gone through what is called SME judgment and also medium priority to SME, which is really critical for the move on, and it will be important for the real-time release and it required for change for the industry. So here you go. So based on this prioritization, we have basically found out around 10 key process parameter, key quality attribute need to be considered to the next page of URS, called user required specifications. So I would just read quickly. It's glucose. We are thinking to do production bioreactor. The reason we have done this, and based on the mathematical ranking, later on I'll show what is called critical control point. And those exercises done in order to decide these different attributes. And aggregation is in the CX bind stage, HCP anion exchange flow through, cell viability, cell density, charge profile, and glycosylation profile, amino acid, titer production, DNA. So their unit operation we want to focus on are also listed in the right side. Then, as I said, that this attribute also choose based on what is the called critical control point. Every attribute has a critical control point where you really need to be like control that attribute in that unit operations. I don't want to go through this, but what I want to say, let me get simple example is aggregations, where you can see that it is really critical and but a medium critical, which is you can measure multiple unit operation. And same thing, I can give a simple example like glycosylation. Even if you measure a production bioreactor, but what is the most important stage is the harvest stage, and the rest of the stage you really don't see any change of glycosylation for the MAP process. However, it might be changed in case of a highly glycosylated process, so which is your CCP might be different in that case, like complex glycosylated proteins. And charge profile again similar way in the maybe CX stage. And like other thing, I can say you that something like DNA, endotoxin, amino acids, all those things also in the bulk drug substances. So depending on the where basically you want to control, and we choose the different attribute. After the attribute choice, then we have gone through what is called user required specification, which I'm going to talk about within a minute, how we gone through the user required specifications, like based on BioPhorum single use URS template, we have used one of the template from one of the BioPhorum, and scope of the vision for the URS, main idea for new methods, what is the new method should be, which problem has to be solved, and where the process is the measure was take place. Basically, I'm talking about the unit operations. What is the current method, what has to be changed, and then stakeholders, basically your every industry stakeholders like management and relevant stakeholder roles and their interest to be new methods, potential stakeholder and the operator and lab manager, MSAT, basically it's from development, from between the development to QC. The MSAT is the group which work there, then QA, IT, purchasing department, vendors and sales. The need of each stakeholder, including general needs, what does stakeholder want to achieve, then when you design the URS, you want to make sure that your safety is the most important concern you want to keep in mind, and functional operational requirement, what are the different other requirements required, quality, health and safety, as I said, environmental supply, IT and software. So all these parameters was taken in consideration during designing of the user requirement specification. We have designed all the user requirement specification, which I do not have time to discuss all the user required specification in this presentation, but we have already designed that. Then just to reiterate that user requirement specifications. So every attribute, like let's consider when we design the user requirement specification, I can give a simple example like cell density, cell viability. So when we designed that, we decided is there any opportunity we can combine two different selected attribute and prepare the what is called user requirement specifications. We did that, and throughout that we prepared the user requirement specifications. So far, it's striking like that after the user requirement specifications, our idea is that we can increase the scoping towards like innovations. What are the taking this user requirement specification, we can we are thinking to go for more scoping to the next stage of which is not part of the discussion, but we are working on to advance to the next stage of implementation plan. So then once you have the user required specification, then comes to the what is called business case or business driver. Anything you decide for the implementation of technology, you need to have a business case. In order to do the business case, we have a called a matrix, and there are team working on the business case where we basically I just want to go through further detail that what is the business case, how we did that. So details underlying the what is the assumptions and project capital cost and operational cost and benefit of the solutions. So you need to basically understand what is the exactly how much investment you are putting to that, how much return you are getting out of that operational cost and benefit of the solution, whether the solution has a long-term impact, whether this industry needs a short-term impact. They depend upon the operational cost and the benefit of solution, and also what is the assumption, what are the technology assumption you are putting together also matter there. Then go to the next is basically what I'm trying to say is here, just 1 minute, total potential annual benefit, which is called what exactly material test cost for offline versus inline, and sample collection and management cost, and also next text data reporting cost, better yield, tighter and control, reduced investigation related to manual sampling and testing, reduce inventory cost. That's the most important things. You know that sometimes what happens when you are working in a different biopharma industry or pharmaceutical industry, as much as you would like to reduce the inventory cost in order to make sure that your supply chain is working effectively and provide very much effective solution for reduced inventory cost. Then lab equipment maintenance, which is most important, decrease production material losses, reduce discard of average of years. So these are the consideration. Total potential annual benefit was taken to the consideration. Then what we did, we took that matrix and gone through what is called calculations, like a mathematical calculations. We have a team to prepare this mathematical calculation, what is called like ROI, then return of investment, return of investment. So it's like how much in investment you can get return, but how many years required to get this investment, how many years to get the return was calculated. Based on this calculation, then we basically design a what is called 3-year cash flow analysis to provide a grid. Let me go through this grid a little bit more details. So what I'm trying to show here is that 10-year cash flow analysis of the $1 million. As you can see in the left side of the grid, how much $1 million you can spend, and what is the after the tax cash flow, capital investment, total pre-tax cash flow, and you can see the line so that it is your what is called 10-year cash flow, and return on investment is basically increasing flow. So this is just a model how we can take the what is called user requirement specification to design your business case. We have the tool to provide that. So to do that, what we do, we take the every attribute, like as I said, the 10 different attributes. I just want to bring that again, that the 10 different attributes we choose, and we take those to exercise for the business case development, and also what are the technology, and supply that material to the what is called supply partner. Then supply partner will be working together with the industry to develop the technology, and once the technology is in the advanced stage, then it will be come to the like a end user, which is called biopharma industry, to utilize that and provide the again guidance to the supply partner, and they can modify the technology accordingly. So this is considered as a evolving process. This is considered as a what is called more towards working together, not just supply partner developing technology in the isolation. Finally the technology after their investment may not be able to use in the biopharma. What this will give us a more view that the industry, when you develop the technology along with the collaboration with supply partner and your knowledge you share, and your requirement, what is the industry requirement, is share with the supply partner, then supply partner work together and develop the technology accordingly. So let me go to the almost in the final slides. Basically, so our next step vision, I just want to go through slowly. So what we are doing, we are writing the white paper. I have not included here at the not part of this discussion. Maybe we can in the future. We wrote a white paper to cover all the exercise we have performed, which is required to user required specification and critical control point, and also business case, and what is the drivers of all those things, technology scoping. So everything will be available as a white paper, will be published in the BioPhorum website, and those will be again similar to roadmap, more digest how we can implement the technology. The idea is that we are targeting to publish Q4 2009 along with the URS document, business case model for high priority cases. So you will see all the details about the priority cases. Then our idea is that perform the proof of concept project scoping for new technology. So that's one of the exercise still going on. If some of the industry, maybe biopharma inline monitoring real-time release team may request within the industry and their subject matter expert to provide their insight towards what are the different new technology can go through based on the industry requirement, based on the URS, and we are reaching out to every industry partner to provide those new technology options. Then, as I said, that this is just evolving process. As you see that our scoping was started in particularly on the Maya process. However, we want to expand towards different modality, all those things discussion, not part of this discussion, not scope of this presentation. However, there is a possibility that we can engage different industry partner for all different type of modalities and also different type of biopharmaceuticals. So I'm giving 2 minutes extra time to the audience to think about the questions, but I would like to request to the audience that this is just an evolving process. This is just collaborative effort by the different industry, and the information given is the view by the subject matter expert present in the BioPhorum Inline Monitoring Real-Time Release, and also it was circulated across their industry through the SMEs, and based on that we compile all the information. The information may not be accurate as you like in your industry. However, we are trying to make sure that we align, and also we are presenting different conference, presenting different organizations, so that we have a collaboration through a regulatory agency, so that regulatory agency buy our roadmap and all those things, and we are trying in such a that regulatory provides some guidance, and we receive some guidance. We have also used those of the guidance for the next step, but we are continually engaging different industry and continuously engage also different supply partner and also different funding agency to fund this exercise to move forward for the successful implementation of the technology to reduce the cost, improve the speed, and improve the quality. So that's our motto towards like technology road mapping. With this, I'll stop my presentation. I'll be happy to answer the question.
Thank you, Dr. Aich. Now we will begin the question and answer session for this webinar. But once again, I would like to remind the audience that you can still view this and other webinars on demand by visiting biopharma-asia.com/on-demand-webinars. So now, our first...
Stephen, can I just go through quickly the acknowledgement slide? Sorry, I forgot that. Can you go to the previous slides? The previous slide. Yeah. No, next slide. Sorry for that. So I just want to tell you that as you can see that this is like a lot of different industry. I just want to thank everybody for their contribution, industry partner, and also thanks to the supply partner for this exercise. Go ahead, Stephen.
Thank you. So as I mentioned, we will be going through the question and answer session, but you can still send your questions in via the questions tab located directly below your webinar screen. So now our first question is, what is the benefit of real-time monitoring?
Okay. So the answer to the question is that when you are using traditional like a technology like offline measurement or any online at-line measurement in the isolations, so you don't get the information when the unit operation decision was made. If you have a real-time measurement or real-time release, it will provide a understanding of the next stage process, provide the release of the next stage so that you minimize the cost of the what is called drug substance testings. So what I'm talking about, like a real-time release in the process stage, then other critical control point which will provide more guidance towards real-time release application for improving quality and speed.
Thank you. Our next question is, what is the regulatory take on this approach?
Okay. So as I said that so far the regulatory take is that we have been engaging with the different regulatory agency through conference, through presentation, through publishing in the different domains, and we got some feedback, and also we improved that, and we will continuously engage the direct regulatory and BioPhorum also working on together to work with the regulatory in such a way that we get the feedback. However, I can tell you that all the industry working in this forum are directly related to regulatory filings. Sometimes their product, their marketed product or going to market product is under regulatory review. And when the SME working, they just make sure that their guidance also fall to the based on regulatory or ICH guidelines. So we try to follow as much as possible for the different guidelines exist. However, as you can see that I cannot promise that we do not have so far a direct collaboration with the regulatory. However, we are engaging regulatory through different domains.
Thank you. Moving on, our next question is it an industry-wide strategy?
Yes. So this strategy was like a different industry-wide, and it's a different partner. We have like a various biopharma industry and also supply partner, including also different organization like what is called Nimble, and they are partner for this for the fundings and all those things. And when you discuss that different industry partner, it's so far is like we have across the globe, we have like US, EU, and different other countries participate as part of the this endeavor, and we are also in the process of expanding the scope towards a global reach like Asian subcontinent and other continent to make sure that but right now we are focusing whichever companies that are available here, but eventually idea is that scoping will increase further.
Thank you. Our next question is, what is the plan for the future?
Okay. So as I said that BioPhorum Operations Group, Inline Monitoring Real-Time Release, the future goal is that, means short-term future is considered as we are going to do the scoping of new technology and use those new technology scoping and the prioritization again. Based on the prioritization of critical quality attribute and CPP, we'll develop those technology, or even technology available, we can mature those technology and do the collaborative implementation in a different industry. And that's the scoping of the next stage. But our long-term goal, eventual long-term goal, initial goal is real-time monitoring based on either online, at-line, or inline measurement, depending on the business case and user required specification, because some of this technology may not be matured. Let me give a simple example like glycosylation. No matter whatever you try, you cannot really measure in the inline inaccurately based on the quality compliance and based on the more like a validated and compliance manner if you want to think about the release. But if you want to think about the monitoring, we could have think about online and technology. But when it's coming to another situation where cell density or something like a process parameter and technology like Raman or FTIR and can be connected, followed by you can do IT automation and many things, we can make a decision of the process directly. So those are thinking going on during the, I cannot give the further detail, but what I'm trying to say that the different scoping of the technology, new technology is going on, and based on the scoping of the technology, our long-term vision, like a overall long-term vision is how to make this like real-time monitoring towards real-time release, and next goal is that make sure that within the 10 years, can we make it inline monitoring real-time release. That's the major goal, and basically everything within the upstream process and or selected downstream process based on the critical control point, we can able to like release the product and also with the improve of the quality. That's the long-term vision.
Thank you. Our next question is, how is ILM-RTR related to process and IT automation?
The ILM-RTR is basically directly, if you say that inline monitoring, real-time release, and IT automation, both are two different parts. However, in reality, both are need to be married each other. The reason is that when you think about something like inline monitoring, real-time release, IT is the most important because every analytics you do, your IT part is most important. Software, the advance in software is most important to make sure that you provide like a real-time information to the process and real-time information to the next unit operation, and that will allow to reduce the speed. And also, you understand your process and take the action accordingly. So let me give a simple example. When you run a online like a technology, if your IT part was automated during your online technology, then you get your real-time information in your screen, and you can decide, you can design your process, or you can act your process accordingly. So IT automation is parallel working inline monitoring real-time release, has a significant impact to driving the goal of inline monitoring real-time release.
Thank you for those answers, and thank you, audience members, for your questions. Unfortunately, that's all the questions we do have time for. But before I finish the webinar, I would like to ask our presenter Dr. Aich, if you have any closing remarks for our audience today.
If there is no more questions, I would like to thanks to the audience, and also I really thanks to the audience. If you feel like any other question or anything, we have been presenting in a different conference, different forum, and feel free to provide the feedback. And again, this is a collaborative effort. More feedback you give, more comments you give, we share this information within the BioForum, and we'll also share this information with the SME and the supply partner. That will allow us to improve our idea, improve our technology scoping, and so that we will not miss anything. We will provide a solution to the globalized and harmonized approach to the industry for the benefit of industry to make the product more better quality and increase the speed and also reduce the cost. That's the goal of our over like a long-term visions and also short-term vision, to make sure that this forum, Inline Monitoring Real-Time Release, along with the other BioForum, work together to achieve that goal.
Thank you, Dr. Aich. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our presenter, and once again, that was Dr. Udayanath, Aich, Associate Director at Bristol-Myers Squibb, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. And you can also, audience, look forward to an article published by Dr. Aich in the September-October issue of the Biopharma Asia magazine. I would also like to remind our audience once again that you can view this and other webinars on demand by visiting biopharma-asia.com/on-demand-webinars. And if you are watching this on demand, then please feel free to send your questions over to me at stephen.edwards@biopharma-asia.com, and we'll get those answers sent back to you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.